Alright, so in this one, I want to go over this bit of price action that we saw last night. I want to go over my key levels and my trading plans, how they've updated. So last night, we did see a pretty large move to the upside. From this low, it was like 4.5% or so. And, I gotta say, I was not expecting to wake up to this. I was in a long from down here yesterday, which of course got stopped out during this liquidity grab, and I was not at my computer to take this next trade. But we did see some very nice signals on Market Cipher as we made that low on the 24-minute time frame. We saw divergence with momentum and money flow as we made that last low. So we did see some pretty nice signals there. If you go to the 12-minute, the money flow was looking pretty good there as well. It was steadily increasing. We got that divergence with momentum as well. And, I would have preferred to get a move a little bit lower. We came kind of close to this first key area I was looking at, the retest of these previous highs. We did technically retest, this wick right here. So maybe you could say we retested the highs already. I would have liked to see a move down into the golden pocket and maybe retest the value area high though. And we have now gotten a move up to the highs of this range. We have tested the value area high, and things on Market Cipher are looking, pretty decent right now. The 1 hour money flow is increasing. It looks like it's starting to clip over a little bit very locally. We can check a lower time frame and kind of see if the lower time frames are showing that this clip on the 1 hour could, result in the money flow coming down a little bit. And I have to say it does not look like that. 24-minute money flow is, pretty thick in the green, not really showing signs of decreasing yet. We're kind of flattening out here, but also the VWAP is curving back to the upside. Kind of looks like we want to print a green dot here. And when you go to the 12-minute, same kind of thing. Money flow has come up a lot here. This was a sharp increase in money flow. And usually when you see money flow go from very deep in the red to very deep in the green on these midterm time frames, it means that there's, usually more upside to come, even if, the money flow actually starts bleeding out like this. A lot of times you can see price continue to put in higher highs afterwards. At least based on my experience, when I see the midterm time frame money flows looking like that, usually means that there's more upside potential. And we are now printing another trigger wave. We kind of broke the direction with this wave here, but you can call that an anomaly. Say we still have very good direction here with momentum. You could even call this the anchor wave since it did print a BitBoy green dot. Either way, I'd say the midterm time frames look like we have potential for continuation. So I'll go over levels of resistance that I'm watching first, and then I'll talk about levels of support for if we start to see another move to the downside. So my levels of resistance are pretty much the same as they have been. I am still watching these highs back here. We have, potentially liquidity above both of these highs. So we could SFP either of them or both of them at the same time. I'm still watching the NDPOC that I talked about in my video 2 days ago, or 2 days ago at this point. Pretty much all my resistance levels are still the same as they are in this video. Still watching that 24-minute order block, and of course I'm still watching this high up here. And right now it does look like we could form some bearish divergences if we get a move up to any of these levels. On these midterm time frames, momentum has come down a lot, and price really hasn't come down that far. So if we see another push to the upside, maybe up towards these highs, we could definitely see some divergences on those midterm time frames. And checking the 6-minute, we could also get divergence with money flow. The 6-minute money flow is curving to the downside. So definitely potential for divergences here. So if we see a move up to any of these levels I got marked out, I would probably want to see divergences on those midterm time frames, maybe even down to the low term time frames for a little bit more confirmation. I'd want to see, divs with money flow and momentum on like the 6-minute, 3-minute, maybe even the 1-minute. But I would also like to see this midterm time frame money flow start to come down a little bit. and on the 12-minute, it is starting to get another turn to the upside. Looking at the 3-minute very locally, money flow is increasing, looking across back into the green. You can see decent direction with the momentum waves. So if, we're not really seeing all the divergences that I would like to see, I would probably be careful taking shorts, especially, if we're going to see another violent move like we saw last night. If we kind of continue that volatility, I would be careful taking shorts. But, if we see confirmations for them, if we see divergences as we take out this high and then we, reclaim the high or fall back down below it, I should say, and we see a large decrease of open interest, that, would probably be confirmation enough for me to say that this is probably an SFP. And I would probably be more strict with wanting to see divergences in these levels, because the confirmations are going to be, a little bit harder to get. With SFPs, you have clear things that you can look for confirmations, trades getting stopped out and us falling back down below the level, closing below it, only leaving wicks above it. When it comes to, NDPOCs or order blocks, you can, use the reaction as confirmation. Like if you come up to this NDPOC and then see a sharp reaction, that can be confirmation. But then at that point, your entry is not going to be in the best spot, especially if you're only targeting like the value area high. You may only get like a 1-to-1 risk reward. And usually when I'm trading, specific levels like this, I like to see the divergences, forming as we hit off the level, so I can get more of an aggressive entry and basically lock in the trade quicker. If I'm seeing the divergences across multiple time frames as we reject from that level, then I can enter a little bit more aggressively and, maybe lock in the trade a little bit quicker, maybe TP at these highs. Same thing with the order block. I would like to see, clear signals across multiple time frames, probably like the 24-minute and down if I'm going to be taking a short from there. You could also look for, signs of weakness in the uptrend as we come into this 24-minute order block, like price struggling to make higher highs and then breaking market structure. That can be a confirmation. But yeah, I know there's a lot of new people watching my channel, and a lot of you may not know how I trade. I certainly do not just trade levels. I trade levels with my confirmations. If I do not get confirmations at my levels, then I do not have a trade, because that is the way I've found the most success trading, is when I combine, my trade ideas, the levels I'm looking for, with the confirmations that we're seeing at the time. And, when all things line up, that is where the best trades come from. So those are, pretty much the resistances I'm looking at right now. If we're going to come up to put in a higher high, then like I said, we have levels we can look at higher. But, for right now, I'm pretty much looking at these resistances as potential lower highs, because, we have on many time frames technically broken the uptrend here. So there is a real potential that this move to the upside was, just a lower high, and that we may continue the downtrend. And right now I am in a short. Looks like I am still in it, but the low time frames, we're looking like they're kind of going against me. 1 minute money flow getting thicker. Yeah, not looking super great for that short, but I already got it locked in. I got stop loss to break even for this one, or actually it should be a very small win. But yeah, anyways, now let's talk about levels of support. So first thing I noticed about this move to the upside is once we broke above the value area low of this range, we pretty much shot up right to the point of control, and we blew past that as well. We pretty much went straight from the value area low to the value area high. And as we did that, we left a large area of inefficient price action right here, which we have already started to fill some of it, but below us there is still a chunk of inefficient price action here, which is the main reason I took a short here. I was thinking that we could come down to fill this inefficiency pretty quickly. And in this area, we also have the value area low and a daily level, so some confluence right around the spot that inefficient price action ends. So I am potentially looking at us coming down to retest the value area low, fill this inefficient price action before potentially getting a move higher. Maybe we don't even come up to put in new highs. Maybe it's just kind of like, get a move up to the point of control before going lower type thing. But I do think this area has potential to give us a bounce. And if we fall outside the value area low, we do have some areas of single prints that I marked out. If I go to the 30-minute time frame and I turn on this TPO indicator, and let me actually try and fix this because those were looking really cluttered. My tick size got changed for some reason. Yeah, there we go. That's looking better. So we have some areas of single prints that we formed on this move to the upside. There are still some in this area of inefficient price action. I don't have those marked out because, obviously there's going to be some single prints here. But right below the value area low, we have an area of single prints that, maybe we just kind of wick down below the value area low and are then able to reclaim it, fill those single prints, get a move back inside the value area. That's another potential idea. But if we lose the value area low, we have some more single prints below us. This one is lining up with the golden pocket right now. And if you take a fixed range volume profile of this little range, you could potentially look at the value area high of this range for support. But I would say that if we're going to lose the value area low here, I would definitely be careful taking longs here because, at that point, we've probably formed a lower high here, and that means there's a good chance that we will form a lower low. So if I'm going to be longing any of these, I'd probably just, treat them as scalps, and I would really want to see my confirmations for those. And yeah, after that, you could potentially look at an SFP of this low. I'll probably have that marked out just in case because, we've been getting a lot of SFPs recently. And if we lose that low, then I talked about the more macro levels of support in yesterday's video. So at this point, I guess we're really just waiting to see whether Bitcoin is going to, continue a downtrend here, if we're going to put in a lower high somewhere and then a lower low, or are we going to see something like we saw back in March where we got a break in market structure, but then price went on to put in higher highs anyway because the larger term market structure is still bullish. That is what we saw back in March when we broke this daily higher low. Everyone thought, oh man, we broke the last daily higher low. We're forming a downtrend. I thought this, if you check my videos from then, that's what I was thinking. But then, price ended up pumping up to put in higher highs anyway. Why? Because the time frames above the daily were still bullish. And on the weekly structure, at least internally, we had formed a higher low. And then went on to break the weekly downtrend. So, that basically completely outweighs the daily bearish breaking structure. All right, well, I think that is about it for this one. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like and subscribing, and I will see you all in the next one.